Hello everyone, day 32 of my journey, and today we're gonna start learning the vanilla CSS. So we're gonna explore how the things are done in the CSS. These are the fundamentals, and let's go guys. Let's create one, getting here, make a simple structure. Um, let's close the tag. Let's make one paragraph real quick. This is a simple paragraph to test basic CSS styling. And let's close it. And maybe one link let's make with the attribute linking to internal page. This is a link. Let's close the tag. Okay, we have one link now. Let's just add one button. That's it, we have the structure now. And let's style it with the CSS. So now, if you want to select our H1 tag, this is how you do it. You write the tag and then the brackets, these brackets, curly brackets, and inside we write, if you want to change the color, we just write color. For example, this color, the crimson color, kinda reddish. Look, we changed the color, guys. Nice, cool. And now let's change the font size to 2 rem. Do something change? Not changing. Maybe 5 rem. Okay, now it changed. Nice. So this is how you. And we should always use rem instead of pixels. This is a good practice. And now let's change the sorry guys, I'm a little bit sick. Let's change the paragraph. So here we have the paragraph. Let's change the color to this color. And or maybe just let's just write red. Not changing. Why it's not changing? Do something. Oh, okay. Okay. Now we changed it. You can see here it's a kind of gray color. Okay, cool. And let's give it a property of line height as well, because we're gonna give line height to our text. Okay, now the line height is changed. I could see how it changed. Now if I have another paragraph on the top, there will be space between them. But let's style the link now. We select it with this is the tag that we just select. Now we selected all links. If we give classes to these elements, then we can select them by class, I think. But for now, we're just selecting all the elements. Okay, let's change the color to blue. This is already blue, so let's change it to yellow. maybe. Okay, it's yellow now. Text decoration none. Let's see if we're gonna remove the the line below. And it's removed. Oh, let's make it red so it's more visible. You see, there is no line now in the below the link. Okay, amazing. And let's style our button. Let's give it a lot of properties to this button. So let's change the background to purple. Give it color white. I think this will be for the typography. Yes. Color white. Let's give it some padding. 10 pixels. 20 pixels. Okay. Let's make it a little bit round. Round it. Okay. Let's remove the border. Okay, guys. Now we have a good looking button. Nice. And so we styled our elements. We changed the color, we changed the fonts, removed the decoration here of the link, and we styled our first button with plain CSS. So that was cool. Let's do another challenge. I like it. The CSS so far doesn't look something very hard. It looks kinda easy, but of course these are just the basics, basic concepts, and it will get much harder. Oh, sorry guys. So let's make one box model challenge. Let's first write our structure, and we're gonna give it a class this time to this div block. The class will be named box. Box model practice. Let's close the div, and now we have a box with text inside. So because we have a class now, we can target this class this way. Dot box, and now this box is selected. This element is selected because it has the class box, and now we can style it. We can give it a width of 300 pixels, a height of 102 pixels, but we're not seeing it now because there is no background color. Let's give a background of F4, F4, F4. And you can see the gray background. And we gave these properties to the box. The width is 300 pixels and the height is 120. Let's make it 300 pixels height as well. So it's a square. And now we can give some padding inside. Uh, inside the box, 20 pixels. Let's make a border as well. We can also give it a color. Okay. Okay, cool. It's a solid, so it's bold, I guess. Nice. Let's give margin so it has space of 400 pixels. But now the border disappeared. Gave this margin. This is for the space outside the box. Let's remove it for now, this margin. Um, let's change the font size side. Let's make it 2 rem, so the text is bigger. Maybe 3 rem. Not changing. Why it's not changing? We work with pixels. Change. Oh, because we didn't use the this. We have to always finish our line with this symbol, guys. So that's why it work. So we must be careful. Let's give a margin of 400 of 40 pixels. Let's change this 3 rem set of pixels. Let's make it 2 rem. Normal or even 1.5 rem. Okay. And now let's make it a flexbox. This is how we do it. We give the property flex. And now it's flex. And we can align the elements inside the box with this property, align items. Now center, current center, okay. We have it in the center, and now let's justify content. And now it's gonna be centered and horizontal. Let's see. Yes. Okay, perfect. We have our first box. We gave it the flex property, and we aligned everything. It also has a margin. So if there is another box, there will be space with the other box. Okay, amazing. Let's go with the next challenge. This. We're gonna do a flexbox basics. Let's make some boxes. Let's give it a class flex container. And let's close this flex container div here so we don't forget. And inside, let's create 3 more boxes. Let's close box. Let's copy and paste this box. Let's have three boxes like this. 1, 2, 3. And that's it. We have our 3 boxes inside our parent box flex container. And now let's start styling these boxes. Maybe I will do this exercise in Webflow as well, so we can see how we do it with the vanilla CSS and then how we do it with the Webflow. And let's go. Let's target the flex container. Okay, now we have the flex container selected. And we can start giving it its properties. First, we must make it flex. So we give the the property display flex. And now we can give it the flex direction. It will be a row. And now everything should be horizontal. Not yet, I guess. Let's justify content. Enter. Okay. Enter line items. Enter. Flex direction. Flex. Oh, we have a dash here. We don't have a dash here, so we didn't select the the box normally. Look, now when I give dash here, now it works. So we have to be very careful, guys, with the when we're selecting the element to type exactly the class name to select it properly. Okay, so we have it selected now. We gave it the flex property, the direction to be on a row to make it horizontal, and then we made the justify content center. Everything is centered, and now let's give it a gap of 1 rem. You see now there is a gap between the items. Let's give a padding of 1 rem and a background color of FA. I don't know what this color. You can see it, it's kinda gray. Let's just make it red so we can see more clear. Have to remove it. Yes. What else should we do? One border, 2 pixels, solid. We have this grayish border. And just make it yellow. So it's have our yellow border. This red is killing my eyes. Okay. Well, let's just make it the gray color from before. Now with the border, we can see our element, our box. This is the flex container box. That's with the yellow. And here inside we have our other 3 boxes with class name item. And so let's target the item now. This is how you do it. Dot item. And let's change the properties. Let's give it a background color. Okay, you can see we gave it this blue background color on every item. Let's change the text inside to white and give it some padding. Okay. And, well, let's make them round. border radius, 6 pixels. And let's change the font size to 1.5 rem. And there we go, guys. We have our container that we gave the flex property, so everything inside is aligned horizontally, and there is a 20 pixels of gap between the items, and we start the items to look cool, and that's cool. That's the basics of flexbox and how to target the the elements. Nice. Let's go with the next challenge. I can real quick make this in Webflow as well. Let's make the div block. Basically, here we have one parent div block with the name flex container, and inside we have three more div blocks with the class item. And paste. So we have 4 items. Let's. But here we have a text inside. We can't just. So we have to use a text block as well. And write one. Add another text block. Write you. Here another text block. And write B. And we can give let's from here we can make it a flex, and then we can center it, and we can give a gap of 20 pixels, I think, or 1 rem. Let's give it a gap of 1 rem. And now we have the gap of 1 rem, and we have a background color. Let's change it to this color, and we have a border. We have our border here. Let's change it 2 pixels. Change the color to yellow. And that's it. We have a background color and the border of the parent element. There is a padding as well. We can add a padding from here. 1 rem. If you hold Alt and Shift on Windows, it will gonna give it to all the all the sides. And what else? I think that's it. And now let's start the the items. We go to the item. We give it this background color. What else do we need? Change the color of the text. Should do it from here. Now we have the. And now let's give it padding 20 to 40. So 40 here. And 20 here. What else? Border radius 4 pixels. Here 4 pixels, 6 pixels. Make it round. Wait, I'm targeting the body. What the fuck I'm doing? Go back, back, back. Choose the item. Select the item. And then style it. 40 pixels. 20 pixels. Border radius. What else? Font size. 1.5 rem. Okay. What else? The color should be white. And that's it. We have our buttons here. Well, with the flex and everything. Okay, cool. We forgot here the... Doesn't matter. It's okay. We saw how we do it here. Move everything. This was a good introduction to the flexbox. And now let's learn more about display block, inline block, and how different display modes change layout behavior and how elements sit next to each other. So how we do it. Let's make one H2 tag. Write display types. Let's close it. And let's give this div class block. It's this is a block element. The div is a block element. And span. Create one span. This is an inline element. Inline element. Let's close this span. And let's make one more div with inline block. Let's create one more span. Just copy and paste. Let's just say another inline. We're gonna style everything later. And let's make one inline block element with the div to see what this is. Like inline block 1. Let's close the tag. Let's copy and paste it. Type block. You. And let's start styling it. Let's select the block. This element. Let's give a property display block and background ffcc ffc ffcc 00. We can see this block. This is the block element. It takes the space from left to right and taking the whole page. and takes the whole block. There can be element inside here. We can do it only with flex and properties like this and grid. But normally it takes the full length of the page, the block element. Let's give it the padding 10 pixels and margin from the bottom 10 pixels as well. So we have a little bit more breathing room, more space. And now let's see the inline elements. Let's target the inline. And inside, let's give it the display inline. And let's tap it now to see this element will be only, it won't go from left to the right and take the whole space. Let's give it a color and you'll see. Okay, you can see the inline elements, guys. They're just like text elements. They take only the space of the content. Let's close. Let's give it a padding of 6 pixels. Okay, and margin right of 6 pixels. Well, you could see here margin. That's it. You can see the inline elements. They're just like text elements, taking only the space that the content is taking. It's not going on another line. It stays on the same line as well. We have two elements here, but they stay on the same level. And you see here with the blocks, they will take the whole space. Okay, let's start now the inline blocks. Inline block. Let's go. Display inline block. Background. A for A. Oh, we made them inlines. Is this because of this class? Oh no, because we add the property inline block. If we remove this property, let's see, they should take the whole space. This is the normal behavior of the block elements. They take another line and the whole text and the whole space from left to right. But if you add the property inline block, they behave like inline element. Okay, very interesting. Padding and px. Okay, we have a padding now. And margin 6 pixels. Width 100 pixels. And text. Let's align the text. Center. Okay. So we saw the block elements takes the full line. Inline elements falls inside text and ignores width height. Inline block allows sizing, but still sits next to others. Okay. These rules explain why buttons stack, why diffs drop, and why spacing breaks. Okay. You use this knowledge constantly in Webflow troubleshooting. Okay, this was a very important knowledge. Knowing how everything works. The inline elements, the inline block elements. So the buttons are inline block. Okay. Okay. And this normal block element. Okay, that was very useful. Let's go with the next challenge. This was important knowledge. And now this exercise will be about the positioning. Let's make one div block, parent. Okay, we gave it the class parent. Let's close this div. And let's make some paragraphs inside with class with the class normal. Let's give it the content static text. Tac. Let's copy and paste this paragraph, but this will be relative text. Let's change this to relative text. This will be the absolute. So we're gonna play it with the positions here. Good. Give it up. Absolute. And let's make one fixed position box as well. Give it a class fixed box. The paragraph. Okay. And now we have a box for every position. And let's start playing with the positions. Let's first target our parent box. And inside, let's give it let's give it position relative. So we give this position relative because then when we try to position something absolute, it's gonna be positioned relative to the element that is set to position relative. So when we set the parent to position relative, the absolutely positioned elements inside this parent will be positioned relative to the parent. Absolute elements position relative to their nearest relative parent. Okay. Let's give it a width of 300 pixels. Height of 200 pixels. Let's give a background color so we see what's happening. Gray color for F4. Let's make it blue color. Ah, let's leave it gray. We can still see what's happening. Let's give a border. Okay. Let's give padding 20 pixels. Margin bottom for 40 pixels. Okay. So we have this box. On the side we have these three elements. And now let's start playing with the positions. Let's target this paragraph, the relative paragraph. The static position is gonna just stay static. But now let's target the relative position. This class, this paragraph with the class relative. And now let's set it to position relative. And now this is how we position it. Top 10 pixels. Let's see if it's gonna move. Pixels. Yeah, it's moving. You can see it, the text here. Let's give it 10 pixels. Let's give it 5 pixels. Okay, we can see it how it's moving. Nice. Top 10 pixels. Left 10 pixels. Okay. And background light blue. Okay. Let's give it a padding of 6 pixels. Nice. And now let's play with the absolute position. Let's target the absolute and give it a position absolute. Absolute. And we can see how it went to the bottom. It's 10 pixels from the bottom now. And let's make it to the right. We'll go to the right. Okay, cool. Let's give it a background color salmon. Very cool. That's it. We have our absolute paragraph. And now let's style this box. I'm not sure if it's gonna work. So because the fixed position is when you scroll it, it stays fixed. But this is how you do it. You give it position fixed. Bottom 20 pixels. Left 20 pixels. Background. Background. Change the color of the text. White. Some padding. And the border radius. And that's it. And now it's fixed, guys. Even if we scroll, this box will stay fixed. It will stay visible even when scrolling. Now our page. So basically, static position just sits normally. Relative moves, but still takes space. Absolute sticks to its parent and ignores flow. Fixed stays on screen during scroll. And this is exactly how you create badge in top right corner, sticky navigation in Webflow, hero text on top of images, custom tooltip or pop-up boxes. Okay, and we're gonna use this a lot. We're gonna use this a lot. Okay, and I think this is for today, guys. We learned about positions, about inline and box elements, the box model, margin, paddings, border, width, heights, the colors, the basic styling. We did a simple flexbox exercise. That's it for today's, guys. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.